Hello, I have really great news. Really great news. And I'm really tired. I never done this kind of video before. I hope you I have really great news because we all agree that the watchtower have a very toxic environment for children. You learn about doomsday, you learn about Armageddon, everyone, all your classmates will die, Smurfs will rape you, stuff like that. And it's almost impossible to keep watchtower liable. I can give you one example. When I was a boy, I told my mother I was afraid of monsters under the bed. That's a normal thing. And my mother told me, there's no monsters under your bed, but your toys might be possessed by demons. And we all learned in the meeting that demons would wake up and rape you while you were sleeping. And my mother said that Jehovah maybe will protect you if you're good enough and sell enough watchtowers and stuff like that. I can't hold, we all know that this came from the watchtower, but we can't hold them liable because they will say, blame my mother. And no child will witness against their mother, and neither will I. You know, she's a victim. She grew up with childhood indoctrination and she just passes this on to the next generation. She's a victim. But we managed to hold Watchtower liable for mental abuse of children. In Sweden, all videos, films you show in a cinema or a convention have by default 15-year-old rating. So they are by default R-rated. You can ask, you can go to a board of advisors and ask, can I show this to younger people? And then they will say, approved for all ages, approved for above 5, above 11, or above 15, you know. But Watchtower know that the doomsday propaganda is harmful to children and it will never be approved for all ages. So they break the law. And we have been documenting this crime and we have been explaining to the prosecution that this is dangerous, and eventually they took one of the guys were prosecuted in court for the crime of showing R-rated movies to children. And we know this is kind of a very small and weird trial, but we was thinking and working really hard and lobbying and explaining, and our protest was really easy. UN Convention of the Rights of a Child, hashtag all religions must. And we had another side, it's European Convention of Human Rights, hashtag all religions must. And our message was simple. We said, human rights can't violate human rights. Watchtower have religious freedom of religion, but children have rights of not being subdued to harmful propaganda. So when this came to court, we knew that witnesses would do the what do you call it, the canary in the coal mine routine, persecuted canary in the coal mine routine, basically claiming that religion's freedom means that we are allowed to do whatever we want with no consequences. Otherwise, we're a persecuted canary in a coal mine, something like that. And they also claim ignorance. They said over and over again, you know, that we have never ever heard anyone's mentioning that our films could be harmful for children. You know, we never ever heard about this. And we have been working really hard. We have a committee of 3 people. It's me and 2 sisters. And they're absolutely wonderful. And they should have all the credit for this. But we have been working very hard. We have been selling this message. We have been lobbying. I've been lobbying in Norway. They've been lobbying in Sweden. And focusing on one thing and one thing only, the rights of a child. Because believe it or not, children are human beings. So the rights of human I'm so tired. You can't imagine. We have been working our asses off. I've been in Stockholm with the protest. Before the protest, we've been lobbying, and now back window cleaning. And while window cleaning today, one of a journalist from Federlandsvennen called, the newspaper that John Redwood always referred to as Vaderlandsmannen. It's called Federlandsvennen. And he called me and said if I had any comment on this. Because we won. We won. The poor schmuck that was a Watchtower representative, the guy who wrote that he's in charge of this convention, he was fined 40,000 Swedish kroner. That's about 4,000 euro. And I'm quite sure Watchtower won't write him a check, so he's going to pay that himself, I believe. And so, and obviously they will appeal this. But this is a huge deal. It sounds like a really, really small thing, but it's a huge deal because Watchtower, every time in court, when you want to hold them liable for anything, they always lie and claim neglect. They say that we never heard about the two-witness rule. I never heard about shunning. I never heard about child abuse. Maybe something far away a long time ago. Mental abuse, dooms. No, we never heard about this. But now we have a court case. A court case that links together Watchtower representative committing a crime against the law that protects children from mental abuse, aka doomsday propaganda, all this stuff. So from now on, from this date forward, the governing body cannot claim ignorance. And this means the Canis Canta of the future can sue Watchtower for mental abuse, and when they claim ignorance, we can claim negligence and intent. So this is a really, really small and obscure trial, but we managed to get an enormous amount of media attention, also from Norway. The most famous Norwegian investigative journalists came to Sweden. It's a different country. It's like CBS 60 Minutes would go to Honduras. I don't know. Maybe they do something, but it's a big deal. We have been lobbying and working, and I'm so tired, and I must share this with something. So I think we should celebrate. If you've never been a Jehovah's Witnesses, I can tell you that witnesses are not allowed to share. They are not allowed to raise the glasses above shoulder, and they're not allowed to clink the glasses. So I think no better celebration is to propose a toast. And I like to do that. I would like to toast for, we had this team, 3 people planning the protest, and they should take all the credit. They did a really, really wonderful job. Så till Kristina och Sabina, helt fantastiska människor. Jag är så otroligt glad. Och också, vi borde hitta på ett kul namn. Vi borde kalla oss Doomsday Busters. It's a cool name. I also want to I'm so tired, you can't imagine. Also want to thank all the people that joined us for a protest. There was a lot of never dubs joining us. And I think all the apostates, all the activists, we don't see eye to eye on everything, but I think we all agree on human rights and children's rights. And we all agree that also the Watchtower have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion. But when there's a discrepancy between, because human rights can never violate human rights, there's a level. But if there would be a discrepancy, this is what we argue. If there would be a discrepancy, children's rights will always go before grown-ups' rights. And children's rights will always go before the rights of a multi-billion corporation with criminal intent. So I think we all can agree with that. And I think it's also important, even if we have different ways, different approaches, when there's a victory, big or small, we should celebrate together. So I will have a small toast for the Swedish protesters, the International XDA Brotherhood, and our siblings in Zion, the ex-Mormons. We have a lot in common. So I prepare a toast, so I will toast above shoulder and clink my glass. Haha! We really got the governing body by their spirit-appointed balls, because we have a nice package linking mental abuse, watchtower representative, and crime. They cannot argue. I'm so tired, you can't imagine, I forget words. So, you know what I mean. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because there will be updates. So, hooray for us, we're great.